food waste be Accra ha na ehun sabat villages no food waste be any ho villages here because omo pien duane na ba Accra omo pien bibia back uko me village kra wonya banji wonya banji enti obitimi ba Medina Hansa was out of banji akọ bibia aba Accra because of money obi pese ebia o aduane oniska the better man enti no to earn a 5 cedi kra no din ma o enti e was say obeton bibi na oniska but villages there food waste be any go menye sure if you banche ne kakra mo de yakokunti
so they were always putting the food into cycle.
Yes, and then banching huno omo de man ponchi if you say banching wo ball mo no
but see
Accra had the wasting yama papa and they say crowd the village is better than
When I was young, I can recall vividly staying close to a particular household where their mother would go to the market to source for discarded proteins like head of fish and fatty meat, etc. from the market. This she would bring home and they would use to prepare their favorite meal. I also witnessed first-hand experience of household farming by uncles, by aunties, by my parents. This they did not just do, but utilize household waste. This takes us back to 1983. That particular year that Ghana would prefer not to recall, where famine slapped the entire nation. And the government advised its population to go into backyard farming. That is why majority of the time when you go to Ghana, when you look at their various homes, you'll find plantain trees all over, backyard farming of contomeri, you find pepper, tomatoes. This didn't just start then. What am I saying? Circular economy has been an ancient practice in Africa. Welcome to the inspiring episode on the Business Platform, and this is your girl, Betty Osei Bonsu. Today, in this episode, we'll be talking about the power that Africa has in circular economy, why it hasn't documented it over the course of the years, and why it should actually look back and focus on indigenous solutions rather than trying to mimic other Western practices. What is circular economy? Come on, this is not a time for exuberant definitions. However, circular economy is something we have been practicing for a long time. Our parents did. They introduced us to it. If you ask them what circular economy is, because of the word circular economy, they might not be able to tell you what it is, but I tell you, they have been practicing it all over the years. You know the local name of circular economy in various languages? Kindly do want to put this in the chat. I want to see those particular names. Circular economy in Ghana will be, I don't know. This was a particular practice that they use in preserving our food. They use it in growing more food for us. They use it for our day-to-day living and our day-to-day survival. The question now is, why are we forgetting the circular economy practices of our forefathers? You see, some few years ago, I met someone who asked me a question. He said, he wants to argue that developed countries practice more of circular economy as compared to developing countries. And I was like, what the hell? No, that is not possible. How possible can that be? Developed countries are seen to be circular because they have put in a system for them to look like that. An example of the transportation of second-hand goods, like clothes, electronics, paper, to several areas in Africa. This reminds me, we released an episode on Africa not being a dumping ground. If you've not seen that, just click on that particular link and you can go and watch that episode where we spoke about how some waste have been coming down to Africa and how it's time Africa stand up for itself to start rejecting all those types of waste. all these ways I mentioned are coming from Western world, and they convince themselves that they are developed and secular. You find most of the waste management system to be, yes, segregated. However, how much segregated are they, and can they really be? Because you still have residual waste, and where do those residual waste go to? That's where you find it being pocketed into some of the goods that they feel like they are helping the other developing countries with. Like, for example, you find out that in a whole bale of second-hand clothes, you find 40% of those second-hand clothes to be not useful, useless, and those will end up in the landfill of Africa. So how is this really secular economy? It's not secular economy. Secular economy is when you actually utilize that thing you consider to be waste and convert it to useful product. Just like converting household organic waste, converting them to useful product. That's a secular economy, and not the other a secular economy of segregating and transporting it to another place. Oh yeah, we no longer have waste in our country, our place is beautiful. That is not secular economy. Africa is secular, but we are secular in a limited way within communities. We practice local secular economy. We do not use infrastructures to do our secular economy, but we do it individually. Yes, we are lacking the necessary infrastructures. We are lacking the technical know-how, a more innovative way of doing it. But I feel we possess that technical and indigenous knowledge that if we are able to tap into those knowledges, we can do more, we can strive more, we can become better as an African country. Like a friend of mine would say, United States of Africa. Converting waste to resource, an attitude that has been and which is still being practiced in emerging economies. But I'm given to be sharing with us some of the secular economic practices that has been done by our predecessors. When I say predecessors, our ancient forefathers, and those practices were also brought down to her parents that she lived under. So, Madam Gifty, let's hear from you. I am dying to hear those practices.
So, like way back, no, but like how many years? 1990 then.
Actually, I was 9 years then, and now I'm 40. I'm 40.
Okay. So that'd be like 1990. Is it 1990 or 1980?
1990s.
1990s. Yes. So that time there were no rubbers.
Yeah, no rubbers. Even rubber no can na polythene bag into no. Yeah, keeping it here. Like we will reuse it before a bit.
Okay. So apart from Insia, we should go like maybe a backyard. Then be on the muye.
Waste no to say more na use your kitchen. You go far from the house. Like you tutokro and I say you dey call ifichire kura emben ifi no bola no.
Now it's like I can recall during those days too. Our mothers will always sew our dresses for us.
Omu use needle. Panieni and omu use. Omu can use machine.
Why do you think we are having so many problems now? Like
I think say nipa population adult. And as you say, no, if you are no content, we be antentem, yeah, to say on like those days now you struggle, but to bossy. Even to me, father said to young compare Accra to the villages. Uko what things go slowly, but Accra no, you be obia
I see. But I'm really looking for a lot of those practices that our parents were doing. The only ones I can recall is them sewing our clothes.
And then one or more baba yeti.
They crop our hair.
One or more baba yeti, and then more or bet you what's no you more amount. There was no pedicure on that, and I said more really behind me.
Like how were they preserving the food? Like
eduane no say ye bedi no na ewiase nye den sa ti say na no na there was no fridge nti ye be ebi beka na che say ye ebia ye obi amen and ebi aka enti no ye be hiti obi edidi ewie no ye be hiti na ade chia ya san hiti early in the morning na e dia to
it says here I didn't say I was food waste be
food waste ebi Accra ha na ye hu ne sabat villages no food waste be any ho villages dey because omo pien duane na ba Accra omo pien bibia back ukọ me village kura wonya banji wonya banji enti obi timi ba Medina Hansa wasa to banji akọ bibia aba Accra because of money obi pese ebia o aduane oniska de beto enam enti no to earn a 5 cedi kra no din ma o enti e was say obeton biribi na oniska but villages there food waste be any ho menya sure if you banche ne kakra mo de yakokonte
so they were always putting the food into cycle.
Yes, and then banching hu no omo de man ponchi nti hu say banching hu wo balling no
but see adie
Accra had the waste ni ama papa nti they say cry the village is better than it's true me ko ho ana me feel say me stay ho crampo village is better, far better than Ahasi. To say everything, we have everything, but to say something like pear villages and more dimple, but Accra pro market. Oh, pro market no more toy. I don't know. Omaton cheap from the village, no more their Bahasi, no more Beijing expensive. He says on beton omudi bibi kakra beto so na contem no na apro na ne wa to enu mumboa ti food yi agi ebia market for no omunya kasa kire bibre ansa say eduane no ana say aban no be ye bibi afa ho
but omo country how are you bet me preserving the struggle sometimes. That's why now I'm even keeping the organic ways.
Yes. Pa won say pro no na ekofo enti ni na ba be ye ti say asasi
but we say you catch obi say onye
obi
catch say ebebon
oni time
but embon
otimi yi bibia film na we ya embon it's going down pa
it is your forefathers no so mu hwe ombeka de
I don't now so villages no my lazy until time may come cry na cry krokesi e mo come ba be dey because omo nya adwuma.
Wow,
they are not farming go make those days pa around the villages no obia ye food obia ye farm even not for sale cry na okwa obenye bi edi but they say no
so
obia I don't know on person back obia person back so if okwa boys on na mo keke enye onye driver ibi o ye mezi asa but for farming the onye farming just as no wo sa.
Wow, so why you farming da
mayeda ikai maye pada
didn't tell we ujai.
Oh, okay, so time na me swa and I na nyamba cry now we were in the village.
Didn't tell me back.
Okay, village no na my father's side into my father be wuye, so we are supposed to come to my mother's side.
Okay,
so this is my mother's side.
But say okay, ebia some of the other practices are omuye be ka
say banchi omu ko tu banchi na edosun ana menkenia omu tu tokuro omu tu tokuro no mu di ni na egu no mo de anwea no afrefre emfifi o but be fresh be wo hosa nti anytime they need the some na no makoyi
yeah sure
yeah banchi or too tokro no pa enye too deep or too pa say de be a banchi na mbasoro but anwea no the soil will cover it. It will be there empro enye.
Wow.
So when they need it, no makoyi. Same as mankeni kokoyam. Sa no moyen. But for kotombre and the leaves there. Okay, kotombre so no. Obetimi omo the two way so like Bonsu when it's 7 let me see 6:37 no mo dey abeto way no so say something like this. Now Bonsu ato eguso. So na to egusi so adebechin ahumachina na it looks fresh again
then
kotomre or the leaves
it say the kotomre evening you go outside in Imbria no
and say we are peace
as you see again
that time no sana na make us so moya into no be say for 3 days no beti make it I use and not kotombre but leaves are yedi no ni nyina bi etimi ye nesa
because they be a semikoto lettuce and a cabbage
e be wo hosa and no ti say ha say no enu e for 6:37 na wo de be hata ahumachin ana no patutu before 6 now was saying we want fresh.
Wow. It is me for bucket na me the
shemwa toko eno die me nyesho but I dey assassin what's a bucket na your rubber and from abi and shut down but two aniana two toko na now they are shishe now I bayre na me try that bayre de me hu bisada but banchine we.
Wow. Fire, like you really give it like we don't have this knowledge. We don't have it. Just say okay. Thank you very much, and Gifty, for that insightful presentation from your end. I'm so surprised that I could actually preserve potatoes by digging the floor or just taking a bucket of sand and putting them inside. Who knew about that? I felt like, why don't we have some of the practices done by our parents documented from the olden days? Like Africa, we don't like writing. If you think there are some books that detail some of those practices, please put in the chat. I want to read those practices. I never knew that you could actually preserve lettuce by just sprinkling water on them and putting them in the air. Like, I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. Madam Gifty, thank you so much. And guys, thank you for watching another insightful episode on the Bisa platform. Yes, secular economy has been an ancient practice in Africa. We have to tap into that knowledge. We have to develop with our indigenous knowledge. And I tell you, we will be a united Africa. Thank you so much and see you on our next episode. I tell you, you don't want to miss our next episode. Cheers! Africa, gone is tomorrow. Today is here. Achievement to be accomplished. Nothing to fear. The twice is tall, and it's not too late to take up your rightful position. In the world of years, Africa, get up and hit the wall.